going live, and we're still going live, and we're live. Move over, kids. What's up, everyone? How are you today? Things are well over here. We've got Rat Boy Collectibles, David Castillo, and William. I forget your last name, William. What's your last name?
Olds.
Yeah, how can I forget that? anyways, here we are, EPS 5000. Hello, how are you today? Guys, what's up? I put on the picture, Legos, Mario Lego.
I can't wait for that thing.
Okay, so you've seen it. Have you seen it, David?
Yeah, I have.
And what's your thoughts? What are thoughts on Lego Mario? Because it's
David
not
or me.
whoever, throw it out there, because it's not really Legos, like in the sense that it's like the Mario is huge compared to
the Mario. Okay, that's the thing everybody seems to get like misconstrued here. The Mario itself is not like a Lego minifig like a lot of people are whining about. I think it's cool though, but the set itself is Legos. You still have to build that. That's normal Legos.
So you can pretty much put everything, like the set. Can you put like your mini Legos in the set?
I would assume. I mean, they're built the same way. They still have the same dots. Everything's the same.
Yeah, all
they're
Legos.
Lego bricks.
Yeah, all Lego bricks will connect to one another.
My thing is because it's built somehow with the Mario figure. I don't know. I haven't really looked up a lot into it yet, but it's got some sensors in it, and I'm assuming there's sensors in certain parts of the stage that if you land on the PD Piranha, it'll give you a coin and stuff like that. It'll kill it, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So I don't, and the figure itself has Bluetooth in it, so I'm assuming that it might have connections with the phone or something like that when it comes out.
Oh man, you know people are gonna hack it. I wonder if you'll be able to play Doom on Mario.
I'm sure people are gonna figure it out. I saw somebody that figured out how to make Doom on an Etch-a-Sketch, for God's sake.
Oh man.
But that set looks amazing. They had a pre-order that came out a while ago that you get a free upgraded one for pre-ordering, and it was like another version of the set. It had like those Easter Island heads that are in the sand area.
Oh yeah.
So I'm pretty sure it had that part in it. So
I completely missed that pre-order. I would have pre-ordered that.
How much was it?
It was $60. I instantly jumped on that because I think it looks cool. And people are getting all upset because they didn't make minifigs of Mario or Luigi or whatever. But it's like they're not seeming to understand. It's Nintendo.
I'm wondering if what's that company
I,
Connects? I'm wondering if they still have the right
to
minifigures for Mario.
But no, there was I'm not sure about that. But number one, I think minifig is like a Lego term at this point.
Yeah,
wrong.
But there's the figures. I don't know where mine are at the moment. They're on the desk here somewhere.
But either way, while you're looking at that, it's like some people don't seem to understand that this is the first set that they're making, number one. Number two, obviously it's going to be a little bit on the innovative side. We're talking about Nintendo. What have they not done that has been innovative like every single time? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I wonder how much
it's going to be a little different.
Wonder how much input Nintendo had on this, because Nintendo is a, as of, 40, 50 years ago, they were a toy company.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they probably had a lot because look at it, the fact that they literally are selling us a Lego version of Mario Maker. You can piece that thing together however you want. So I think it's very cool, and
here's
nothing stopping them from making more figures in the future.
Here's Toad from the Connects set, and here is Scrooge McDuck from Legos.
I got Scrooge McDuck too.
Yeah,
That's
you can
cool.
see the size of. You see the size. Well, now they're next to each other.
I'm assuming that they're going to make some more. They obviously wanted to start off with the interesting set. For people like me, I think it's cool, but then they have like the hardcore Lego fans, I guess, that are flipping out. But I don't know. I'm waiting for it, and I think it's going to be a good set when they come out.
I think it's going to be a good set too. I like that Nintendo is branching out. Again, just it's just one step closer to them becoming more like Disney, and not in the sense of buying every other company out there, but in the sense of just using their IP, their intellectual properties, to really just kind of take over the culture. You know what I'm saying? There was a time where nobody cared about Disney princesses, but now it's all Disney princess this, Disney princess that. You know what I mean? And I just want Nintendo to really have that realm, because they got princesses.
And here's the
one thing
Fox
I
Luigi.
really hope they do. That's awesome. Is
True 88, yo.
Because you know how in like Lego sets they have like the Simpsons house, they have the Star Destroyer from Star Wars.
There's a Bart Simpson right here.
That's awesome. But because they have those, I'm really hoping, and if they don't, I think it would be a huge missed opportunity if they don't make Peach's Castle.
Yeah, we need Peach's Castle. We need Bowser's Castle.
I would say, or one of the floating ships from Bowser. Any of them, either Bowser's or the Koopalings.
There's so much opportunity.
I feel they'll likely build those. They'll likely have those out there.
As long as they do at least one of them, I would be happy. That's going to be the first like pricey Lego purchase I would ever make.
Because one of the big sets that they've shown off, they are doing some sort of Bowser's Castle set, because there is a Bowser you can get.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
he's
I'm wondering
too.
I'm wondering if you're going to be able to build the clown car at some point.
And I'm assuming they also wanted to make it a little more accessible too, because this set was only $60. For Legos, that's unheard of.
Unheard of good, unheard of bad.
Unheard of, because most of the time, even like a small little Lego set that has like 100 pieces, like in a box this big, is still like $30.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that that thing is $60 and has an actual electronic device inside, I thought that was pretty unheard of when it comes to Legos.
Yeah, Hunter brings up a good point, and I was just about to get to this. He said Hyrule Castle, right? It's being sent to review right now. Hyrule Castle, Zelda, Sonic, and Untitled Goose Game has all got 10,000. I don't know what it's really called. It's not a petition, but
I think I know what you're talking about. I think it's called the Lego Ideas or something like that.
Yeah. So Lego, their initiative, and you need 10,000 signatures or something on it, and Zelda has qualified to be under review.
And there have been sets over the years that have qualified, that have gotten the 10,000 signatures and then have been disqualified from being made into sets. And some of them were fantastic.
I know Friends got it.
Well, Friends was one of them. Somebody did an arcade. There was
There's probably so much licensing you'd have to have done with that, though.
Well, they were generic titles.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Like there was you take I think it was a 2x6 Lego piece, flipped around the other side, and it's now a skee ball.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, that's how they show what the skee ball was, or it was one of the ones that has the 3 pieces on the bottom. It was flipped upside down, and that one was really cool. But one of the sets I really wish they could have done, Red Dwarf.
Oh, Red Dwarf.
For those who know the series Red Dwarf.
But dude, there's not a lot of people that know what Red Dwarf is, though. Even though I agree, that would be a really funny set.
Man, EPS just scared me. He said there are some Lego sets that cost around $600, and he thinks that the Harry Potter castle costs $400. How am I going to get
Millennium
Zelda?
Falcon costs $800.
Yeah, exactly. The
Millennium Falcon costs $800.
Yes, the big I forget what they call the series, but yeah, the biggest Millennium Falcon they have is $800.
Yeah, there's the Star Destroyer. I'm pretty sure is up there in the 4 to 5.
I think it's around. No, the Star Destroyer. I think that's $800.
When I was at Lego, when I was working there 10 years ago now, Millennium Falcon was $400 and the Star Destroyer was $500. But this is the version from 10 years ago. So
10 years ago.
And I'm pretty sure
that's still a lot, especially 10 years
Simpsons
ago.
house was about $500, I think.
But it's not the same Millennium Falcon that William's talking about. These are two different versions, but it was still very expensive back then.
Yeah, it's $700. It's see how many pieces there are in it. 7,541 pieces.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
General rule of thumb when you look at a set that they haven't announced the pricing on, it's usually about $10 per 100 pieces, depending on what the pieces are.
like
if
how
there's
William
more,
just busts out this fact. Like,
well, no, because
how do you know that?
if you look at the sets, that's generally around what they end up being. They'll fluctuate the average around that, unless it's got really intricate pieces.
Uh-huh.
Because I mean,
which
that
is
one's
what I was saying about this set being $60. So I was blown away by that. I was actually tempted to get 2 of them, but I didn't.
Yeah, Hunter's right. Lego can be scary expensive. I mean,
Especially if you find vintage
Ooh.
sets that are still in the box and are complete, dude.
I know Lego collectors are on another plane of existence than
Oh yeah, very much. Think about it. Like, you have a toy that's not just a toy. You have to have 4,000 pieces to that toy for it to be complete.
It's kind of weird to me how Lego just exploded. It seemed like they were like nowhere, and then suddenly they exploded and they were a cultural phenomenon. And I know
There's that artist guy that makes sculptures out of Legos, and I think that helped kind of blow them up too.
yeah. I just looked. The Star Destroyer is 700.
I think it was video games that really saved Lego. I think
those video games are actually really fun. I mean,
Star
they
Wars.
seem to always have the same premise, but they're all around fun. They're amusing games.
And I'm dropping a link to the Star Destroyer in the chat there, so people can see what that one looks like.
There's a collector on YouTube about a year ago. He's a French Lego collector, and he had his stuff stolen by just thieves breaking into his house, and
I saw that. Yeah.
he was obviously really upset. But
Anybody would be.
The outpouring support from his fan base was pretty. I mean, he was honestly thinking about throwing in the towel.
Oh, really?
He was super demoralized. And then his fan base just kind of turned it around for him. I mean, he had some vintage stuff that was like, super hard to come across and stuff, but his fan base pretty much donated a bunch of sets to him, and I think it gave his channel some second life. I don't know.
Well,
that's just that brings also into what I was saying in one of my videos, though, because people see these as just toys, but sometimes it's like a sentimental thing that you don't want to like lose. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't blame him at all.
Yeah, that's real. That's what people don't understand about collecting. It's like, if you don't have that collector's heart, that mentality, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be like, I don't know, it could be butterflies. But if you collect something, it's like it means so much more than on the surface. Now, it might be all of Nintendo. It might just be Zelda. It might be I don't know, Resident Evil. It's something,
Chewbacca for me.
Chewbacca, yeah. Some people collect a lot of things. William, you seem to collect a lot of things.
Yeah. So I was just looking because I've been picking up the Star Wars Celebration exclusive Lego sets.
Oh, they had Celebration exclusives, dude. Oh my god.
Oh, there are. Look up the Detention Block Rescue.
Okay, I would definitely have to look that up.
And you will see a very expensive set.
Are these sets like the Death Star? The Death Star is not like hollow or anything, right? It's
completely built on the inside. It's not hollow piece. I'm pretty sure that whole thing weighs like 100 pounds.
Okay. Just wondering, because I've never really. There's a show called like
Lego Masters,
and I've kind of watched that here and there.
Ooh, the fact that these people, like, I used to be able to. I mean, we all used to play with Legos and just try to build stuff. They can build entire little moving droids. And,
it's insane.
God, just ripping it right out of their head. I've never been able to do that.
Yeah,
I've never. I can't do this in Super Mario Maker. I have no ability to build these levels, and some people are just the most complex crap that I never would have thought of.
Yeah, it is crazy what people can come up with. I mean, whether it's in Mario Maker or just in Legos in general. Nick Clanton, what is up? JR Magician, what's up? And also Militant Pacifist. Hey, congratulations going out to JR Magician. He just finished he completed his 3DS collection.
Oh, no way you did?
Yep.
Nice.
He got that Barbie game. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That Barbie game, yeah, I know how much it cost him. I'm not going to say it on air because but I know it hurt when he
I was
told
gonna
me.
see if I can find something real quick.
All right,
Now William's gonna be like, I got it here.
yeah, William
Seal.
has it. He has 2 of them. But used graph paper can help with designing Mario Maker levels. That's a
JR,
tip.
dude, you just took a math spin on Mario Maker and it just kind of okay. No, not doing it. Sorry, that's too much.
David, what do you have to say to JR? He just completed his 3DS collection.
Yeah, he let me know earlier, and I congratulated him. I'm really happy for him. That's a feat. It's a
He's
big.
got 2 complete Nintendo collections at the moment.
That's true. 2 complete.
That is it's remarkable. That kudos, man. That's awesome.
Granted, the fact that Wii U is small, but still, that took
small
time.
but mighty. Now,
And Nick, the game it's a Barbie game that he was getting. It's like Barbie Groom and Glam Pups or something like that. I don't want to know what he paid for it, but I know that it goes for like $600 to $700.
it's a pricey game for whatever reason. Probably just kind of like Hello Kitty at first on the Wii U. It was just like a very low print run. Nobody thought anything of it.
It was a low print run. It was on the Wii and then the 3DS, and I'm pretty sure jumped to the Wii U. Maybe I could be wrong, but I don't know. But yeah, it had a very low print run on the 3DS, and it was on the DS too.
And it's a Barbie game, so speaking of collectors, you got Barbie collectors out there. So you have to fight the Barbie collectors, plus the Nintendo collectors, plus the 3DS collectors. So Chris Carleo asks JR, how many games? I would like to know, because that's a lot of games, I know that. But how many games? Everybody take a guess. How many games are in the 3DS? I'm going to say 350.
I feel like it's more than that.
It's got to be that, more than that.
Well, that's my guess, 350. So don't take that. Don't write that one down as a fact. Let's see. Thanks, guys. A lot of credit goes out to Steve. That's our buddy Steve from the channel. I don't know what he goes by right now. He goes by a lot of things. Testy. Yeah, Testy.
Pesty with the P.
Pesty. Let's see. If it was a Zelda game, sure, but Barbie. Nick says he's dying here laughing. That is kind of like, you want your last game to be like, I understand you know what, this was something I think True88 asked a while ago and that we were supposed to talk about. He said something along the lines of, what are tips on collecting? And let's see. We'll go into the tips. JR says the answer is, hunters say maybe 500. There's a lot of shovelware on the 3DS. That's true.
I don't know. I just looked up a number. I don't know how accurate it is. JR, you can jump in, but it said 1,448 games.
That's probably with the eShop games, because JR is saying it's 418.
1,334. Sorry. Yeah, that's probably eShop included.
And William, you got a hello from Eric St. Cray from Montreal, Canada.
Oh yes, hey Eric.
Oh, Canada. We got Canada is a friend of the channel. JR Magician, he is a fellow Canuck with you, Eric. Welcome to the channel.
Yeah, Eric and Sarah from Montreal. They're I met them at in Vegas in 2014.
Viva Las Vegas.
William, do you ever still contact with the people that were writing the comic books to the left of us at the Retro World?
I have them. When was the last time I messaged them? It's been a few months, but yeah, I have their page liked on Facebook.
Okay, yeah, you're gonna have to link that to me. Sorry, that was just a random thought. Back to the normal stuff.
And I went to look. I couldn't find it at the moment. I was looking for more of the Star Wars the exclusives from Celebration. But the one I was looking for, I thought was right down here. There was one that sold for $175.
Ooh,
and there's another one, that detention block set. There's one that sold just a couple days ago for $284.
Yeah, and that's a little tiny thing. It's only about like that big.
It's 220 pieces.
Well, probably a little bit bigger then, but still, that's just proves my point.
Yeah, the box is like this big for it.
Hunter says he's a casual Luigi collector. What do you guys collect in the chat? What do you guys consider your main collection? I know Hunter from back in the day. He likes Year of Luigi and Luigi. I guess.
Oh, and this is the monster that opened up that sealed game, right?
Yeah, he's the monster.
And I got my Luigi right here.
Luigi.
I definitely agree
Fox
with
Luigi.
Luigi, obviously, but Chewbacca and Wii U stuff at the moment, for me.
Mine's Zelda. I do collect Nintendo games if I play them, but I don't really consider that collecting so much because I'm only getting games that I'm playing, even though it still is collecting. But Zelda is my thing, obviously. How about you, David? What are your passions?
We were talking about Canada like 5 minutes ago. And,
You collect Canadians?
Well, JR and I were in a Smash tournament on Friday
Bags of milk.
that took place in Canada.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think his local community hosted a tournament, and I signed up for it. It was a lot of fun.
How far did you get in?
I made it. Well, I went to losers bracket, but that was it was fun. I did it for fun. I really didn't do it super hyper focused or anything. Won a couple games, but made the best out of it. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, were you Banjo?
I was Banjo, yeah.
Calf Man, what up? If you could say, like, what was the most memorable moment of that tournament? I've not been in a tournament before.
JR told me that I was being streamed on Twitch.
Really?
So, yeah, and then I rewatched my gameplay, and I was like, I shouldn't have done that. I was super critical.
If only we had video of when we were playing that one day. Ken, you weren't there for it.
Oh, that when all of us. Oh,
It's like let's go random. Let's go random. So we all chose random, and it
came up as Wario.
It was Corin, Wario.
Never could have planned that again.
And then we did random one the next right after that, and of course David gets Banjo.
Yeah, that was not fair. That was not fair. Don't get main in a random match. That's
yeah, it was a lot of fun. I had fun on Friday.
It was good.
Yeah, I have fun. I always have fun playing Smash. I just got done playing Smash like 2 hours ago with my cousins. So,
if you could only have one Switch game, would it be Smash Brothers?
Yeah. It's just it just makes sense. But we were playing on the Breath of the Wild stage, and my cousin paused the screen and looked towards the bottom to look at the fields. And I got a hankering to play Breath of the Wild. I just had so many good memories playing that game.
Dude, I started playing Breath of the Wild again. I picked it up for a minute, and then I put it back down, though, because I was like, I don't know. It's something about when I beat a game, I don't really return to it. Like, I've only returned to a couple select video games, both of them being Zelda, like Link to the Past and Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time. Those are 3 games that I've returned to and played on the original, not like a 3DS upgrade or something like that. But yeah, with Breath of the Wild, I'm to the part where it's like everything is like super hard. If I haven't done it, it's like just impossible. And what's left to do? Find all 900 Korok seeds. I got the Korok mask. It kind of like wiggles, but like I still can't figure out where the Koroks are when it's wiggling on me.
No idea there. I think I only found like maybe 300 of them.
Yeah, I'm about around 300 too, give or take. But yeah, that game's so good. That game was so good, and I heard that one of the news sites were bad news for Zelda fans because people were expecting an E3 announcement, and now that E3's been called off, and Nintendo themselves has said that the June Direct probably is not going to... Well, there was never really a June Direct announced, but we all assumed there was a June Direct. That's been pushed back, so now it's like they're like bad news for...
It's the same reason that they did when they pushed off the Direct because that tsunami happened a while ago. It's because of the stay-at-home order in Japan, and they're basically just realizing, and that's the reasoning behind it.
I never understood, in Breath of the Wild, every once in a while you would get a blood moon rising.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds very naive of me to ask.
Looks like he froze. He froze right when he was about to ask the question. So we'll give him a second to come back. Let's see, Ken, Link and I have 100% of Breath of the Wild, and he still don't think it's a Zelda game. Oh, Nick Clanton, you are just wrong.
And Eric was saying that him and Sarah, they're collecting the Dragon Quest series and Mystery Dungeon games.
Ooh, collecting the mystery dungeon games. That's something. Oh, there you go, David. You froze on us. So you were about to say it was naive of you to ask this about the Blood Moon. What was it?
Yeah, the Blood Moon Rising.
Actually,
What exactly did that do? Because I would traverse in the field, and that would rise, right? The Blood Moon.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really notice enemies getting stronger or anything. What exactly did it do?
No, enemies didn't get stronger. Basically, what happened was
I thought they just became more erratic.
no, if you killed, it just respawned every enemy. So let's say you killed a stone talus, one of those stone guys, or even a sleeping giant. If you killed one of the Hinoxes, and or you cleared out an entire field of guardians or anything, any bad guy that has been killed before, a blood moon happens and then they're back. So that way you can't go through a game. You can't go and kill every single enemy in Breath of the Wild and then just live a leisurely life, because the blood moon is going to happen and bring everybody back. So it just respawns everything.
Did you guys ever beat Eventide Island?
Yes. I loved that. That was
I actually completely cheated that one.
So,
how'd you cheat?
There was a point where you could land on the island and not actually trigger the island, like taking away everything. So if you landed on the edge, you could chuck bombs at stuff and kill stuff before you were able to get it all taken away from you.
Boo!
It's the only way I could figure it out, dude. Like, I could not kill those stupid giants or whatever was there. I forget.
Is the treasure worth it? Don't tell me what it is, but is it worth it?
I couldn't even tell you if I wanted to, but yeah, I mean, it's worth it.
Because it's 3 years later, and I still have not beaten it. And it's not like I've been playing it every day since 3 years ago, but I gave it my good effort for like a week. I was like, okay, today's the day. And then I just kind of left it, and I never knew what is there, which is fine, because then if I go back, I can be like, you know what? I'm going to fire it up just to beat Eventide Island. That's what I'm going to do.
It's worth it only in the sense that you tried for a week to do it,
Yeah.
I mean, the most you get out of any of these things is going to either be the completion of a shrine
Or an armor.
some really cool piece of armor.
Yeah.
And I'm not 100%. It was so long ago. I'm not 100% what it is. I think I know what it is, but
I remember what it is. I don't want to ruin it.
Please don't, because I just want to. I want to still have a surprise. But the amazing thing of Breath of the Wild is that the name kind of speaks true to what you experience in the game. Like, you would be traversing a mountain and you just kind of lose your way a little bit, and then all of a sudden you come across like a little oasis of a treasure or like some enemies that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
And I think it really like pays off in terms of exploration with that game. It's like you don't know, or like you go past an area where there's no beacons lit.
Mm-hmm.
An area where you have not like you're clearly not suitable to traverse this area yet. It's way past your expertise, and it's like a sense of excitement, danger, but like payoff if you manage to survive. It's so cool.
Yeah, there was this one thing. There's this one area in the game that like it's completely dark. Like, I don't even really.
Yeah, in the forest.
Yeah, it's in the forest. I mean, it's like pitch black dark though, and I came across that like a year after beating the game. I was like, "What the heck is this?" And it was a huge area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was trying to explore everything before. I had to get all the shrines before I beat it.
Did you guys come across that swamp area, like the brown swamp where you can't step in it or you'll like die?
Yeah.
And
Isn't there a tower there?
So there was a tower, and that was the first time I saw electrical whiz robes. So wizrobes are my favorite enemy in this game. They're so like they remind me of Pose. I know they're not Pose, but they have like elemental attributes and they're really annoying. And don't piss off the meteor one. Like don't like if they start dancing and you have meteors coming your way, like you run and hide because those guys are ruthless. But makes me miss Pose. I really want the second one to go darker and creepier in the enemy variety. I do want to see some likes. I want to see some classic stuff, but also some really cool
Redeads.
stuff.
I want to
have
see the
the game.
Redeads and the Slimes come back, and the Pose.
The wolf-like things with the boomerangs, they're not in it, are they?
No.
No, but the Lizalfos are similar to them, because they throw the boomerang, the sharp boomerangs, but they're lizards instead of wolves. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
those wolves from the forest temple is what you're talking about. They're they scared the hell out of me when I was a kid. I was
Redeads.
like,
Redeads always did it to me.
Do you think if they bring the Redeads back, are they going to have that gut wrenching scream where
Have
you get
to.
like?
oh,
frozen?
dude, they have to be creepy, man. They have
I
to
want
be.
them to look creepy, but if they don't have that horrible scream, I wouldn't want
Dude,
them.
They're not
I
Redeads without the scream.
I got so a lot of my games growing up were secondhand, like the flea market or something, because it was a little bit cheaper. This is before GameStop, and I grew up pretty rudimentary, and so the only way I would earn games was through report card, which is every 6 weeks, and there better to be A's and B's on it, or else I'm not getting a game, kind of thing. Well, the chance I got to play Ocarina of Time, but like 3 years later than what it came out. I think it came out in what 98,
Uh huh.
99,
Uh huh.
and I didn't get to play it till about 2001 or 2002. It was the GameCube was like first year out pretty much, and so I was a little bit behind, but you know this quickly became my favorite game of all time because I was still in a capsule. The internet wasn't as prevalent, and I knew about Majora's Mask, but I didn't knew that it was I just didn't really know much about Zelda. And so when I got the game, um, there was a save data already, and something about me was like I didn't want to create my own save data. I want to go in and see these people's games and live vicariously through them. Like the name Jacob was on a game, I think, and I would be like, well, let me see what Jacob had here, and I would go and I remember the first time I fired up Ocarina of Time, and I come out of the Temple of Time, and everything is barren, and there's redeads everywhere. And I was like, I don't want to play this game. This is so scary.
Like, what is
And
going on?
yeah, and I think the first temple after the Temple of Time is the Forest Temple, right? Because
Yeah.
you do Deku Tree, Jabu Jabu's Belly, and then what's the third one? Zora's Domain, and then you go Temple of Time, and then you start the temples, the adult Link temples, right?
Uh huh.
So the first one on the list is what? The Forest Temple, right?
I'm not 100% sure what the
Pretty
order is.
straightforward.
Chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember going to the Forest Temple and I didn't play. I actually the way I played Ocarina of Time was I did all adult Link stuff because young Link stuff was already done. And then my friends were like, dude, there's young Link stuff. And I was like, oh, I have to start the game over. So I did and I replayed it. But
Talk about cheating on Evertide Island.
hey, if anything, this is unbeknownst to me. So I, like Will said, I arrive, to the Forest Temple, and I see these two Wolverine, like wolf like creatures just spawn, and they just start charging at you, and that's such a super daunting thing to take on. It like,
They look like wolves in the previous games, but later on they kind of look like dogs. They were the Gorias.
Gorias, yeah.
Yeah.
they
Um,
they howl. I mean, they definitely have wolf like attributes, but and I remember dying to them several times before I could even make it into the freaking Forest Temple.
I forgot
But
about them, to be honest with you, until you guys started bringing them up. But
But David, now I find this funny because you were talking about finding an old save file in an Ocarina thing, and I thought, like, were you the one that found Ben drowned? That's creepy.
yeah, that started for me, man. No, it's I don't know. You just we all go back to when we were kids, and Will, Ken, and Will, you guys were adults already, but you would rent the game from Blockbuster, and some people would clear out the save data and some people wouldn't. Like I wouldn't want to clear out save data from a fighting game or Pokemon Stadium because they already had certain Pokemon that you don't get in the first part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely wanted to salvage their save data because it's like, well, if my cousins come over, I kind of want to have the whole roster so that we can do our thing.
Man, those were the days trying to
Well,
beat a
yeah.
game before
Here's
returning it.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing on that, because I mean, I was the town I grew up in was only 8,000 people, and we had a video store. So of course, it was like one side of town that the video store's in. It was close enough that I could ride my bike there. To rent a game for one day was $3.
Ooh, ouch.
Think about that. In 1990, $3 to rent a game. So one of the ones that I would rent was Dragon Warrior. Not specifically that one because my cousin had it, but like the second one, the third one. I think they had the fourth one there at one point. But you'd rent it and play through it as much as you can and return it. And you just hope that the next time you go to rent it, because I think there was usually 3 save files, that the save file you put on there was still there when you rented it again.
I remember that happening.
Even for a town that small, half the time if I rented it, the file would be gone.
That sucks. I would just rent a game and just plow through it until I beat it,
Yeah, but you had like if you wanted to rent it for that price, you could only rent it. You had to return it by 6 p.m. the next day.
That sucks. We had Blockbusters and stuff, so like we were able to get it for like 3 days. But you have to spend all 3 days as Buster Bunny trying to save Babs.
Yeah, you have to like. Whenever my parents would let me rent a game, obviously it was Friday afternoon after school, and then we'd have it for the weekend. And I would just, I wasn't as privileged as the other kids to spend all weekend on it because I had chores and my cousins would come over and I couldn't just spend 8 hours on a game. And what's funny is that even kid in the candy store type of concept, right? You throw a kid in the candy store, he doesn't know his limits. He doesn't know the feeling of diminishing returns, right? Like so much candy, I'm gonna eat all of this and then it's gonna get boring, right? We don't have a concept of that at a young age. But I would, on those rare occasions when my cousins would come over and my parents were distracted with the adults, my cousins and I would get away with like 9 hours of N64 playing time. And by like hour 6, we were like, hey man, let's go outside.
Yeah, you're just sweaty.
Even as kids, yeah, you could feel your eyes burning. You could feel just like the fatigue setting in, and you kind of wanted to change a pace. Maybe you were hungry, you didn't realize it, and then you come back and you'd get a second win and you'd go for it. And we experience that now. Like my cousin, he's like my equal in Smash. We tend to lose. We prefer to stay indoors. We're more reclusive. We're not like these people that like to be out and about anymore. But we'll spend 6-7 hours here in my media room just playing Smash, being super loud, screaming, cussing, doing stuff that it's so much fun. It's very familial, but it's funny because Nintendo has always had those disclaimers in the beginning of their games, like, hey, especially with the Wii area, hey, remember to take a break every 2 hours.
Yeah, Nintendo's the only video game company that wants you to not play video games.
And was it Gunpei Yokoi? Was it the I don't know, Will, if you can help me out, but the ex-president before Satoru Iwata, he said the only reason, this is a very salty take from the ex-president of Nintendo, but he's like, the only reason why PlayStation was successful is because it appeals to a lot of introverts that love JRPGs or something like that. It's like they don't like to have fun. And I could definitely, if you were to take 2 archetypes, you take your N64 teenager and a PlayStation teenager. For some reason, the archetypes fall under like the PlayStation guy is like a Doritos Mountain Dew type of, just hangs in the room and plays for hours. And the N64 is more of like a, jovial younger kid that also remembers to play outside kind of thing, So I feel like it does line up a little bit with what he's saying. I remember having friends that would play the PlayStation versus instead of the 64, and they were a little bit more like their taste was a little bit more acquired. They were playing RPGs and they were playing like Metal Gear Solid. That was not I mean, I played it as a kid, but that was not a game that like 7-year-olds would like want to play.
Right.
I know that there were 7-year-olds that did play it, and obviously they've grown and they've enjoyed the franchise. But 7-year-old, 8-year-olds, they're wanting to play like Super Mario 64. They want to play Mario Party and Mario Tennis and things of that nature. So I'm not even sure if I'm really making sense, but it's like take two brothers, the younger brother is the N64 guy, and the older brother is the one who like watches anime and is a little bit more like rough around the edges and plays the PlayStation. He's like, you won't get this JRP, you won't get Grandia 2. Like, go back and play Mario Party, So,
you had the name wrong of the president, because you said Gunpei Yokoi.
yeah.
He was the guy who pretty much invented the D-pad, the Game & Watch, the Game Boy.
Yeah.
But the president you were thinking of was Hiroshi Yamauchi.
Yes, that's my bad, but yeah.
No, that's fine.
Shame.
I had to look up because I couldn't remember his name either. I had to look it up.
Hey, I got a
Right.
trivia question for you guys. It's from Nick Clanton.
Yeah, I was trying to think about that. I can't.
And Pesty had a good question too. We'll get to that after.
All right, I'll ask the trivia question because I don't think I know it, and I don't think any of us knows it. In Zelda 2, Adventure of Link, what is the name of the alligator-faced enemy in Death Mountain who could swing and throw axes at Link? I remember that.
I am not good at names.
Yeah, I remember. I hate that guy, but I don't know who it is. So
I would have to look it up.
yeah.
Nick talks about how Breath of the Wild isn't a Zelda game. Zelda 2 is not a Zelda game to me.
Uh-oh, we might have some funny words.
I don't know. I've never liked Zelda 2. Zelda 1's good. I love that game, but
Yeah, I hate Zelda 2 also. Sorry, Nick.
I mean, I can see how it's an acquired taste. People probably like it, but I just
I love the game,
not
and I don't care if someone hates it. Everyone has their different tastes.
Yep. Exactly.
What was the thing from Pesty?
So Pesty asked, what's the one item or items that you missed out on that you kick yourself to this day?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if I can specify like a really good one. I know recently it was getting that Wii U display from GameStop.
Oh yeah, I thought I was going to miss out on that until I got real lucky.
A diarrhea?
Dyra.
Is that the name of the enemy?
I'm not sure. I didn't really play Zelda 2. I played it once on my DSi, and that was it.
Yeah, that's the name of it.
Okay, so EPS 5000 got it. And
Cool.
Hunter says he always died to that alligator enemy also in Zelda 2. Yeah, that alligator enemy was like tough. He was tough. The one item though what is an item that I regret missing out on?
I remember seeing the sad look on your face every time you said you didn't get the Master Edition until I finally found the link for you.
Oh yeah, the Master Edition was the Master Edition would have been the thing because I missed out. It was E3. They announced Zelda or something like that. They did all the Zelda stuff, and like an idiot, I went to sleep. And like I didn't think of that Nintendo always drops their pre-orders right after a direct or anything, and it was like 11 o'clock 12 o'clock already at night, so I went to sleep. The next morning I see everybody has Master Edition but me, and they're sold out. They're like going for $500-$600 on eBay, and I was just so mad, but Devin here came through for me because eventually, like, I don't know, it was like a month later, a link popped up, and so I was able to get it.
Let's see how much it's going for now.
You make sure you go to eBay sold listings.
That's
Nick
what I always
Clanton.
do.
Nick Clanton just donated $5. Thank you, my man.
Thanks, man.
Or should I thank EPS 5000 because he got the answer? So I guess I should thank both of you. And yeah, Hunter says he remembers we both missed it, and we were so distraught afterwards. Me and Hunter, we were just like, I would just be like, Hunter, I can't believe I missed this thing.
There's one that sold 2 days ago for $500.
All right, then that's going price, $500.
And there's one 3 days ago for $345.
Somebody got a good deal there.
$249, and it included some. No game for that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, mostly people are flipping out because of the Sheikah Eye case and the statue.
Yeah, that's what people want. But
I mean, the Sheikah Eye case, I have one from my box that I opened up, and then I sold what was the middle one? The standard, the
special
middle one.
Edition. Special edition just had the case.
Special edition.
Yeah, special edition just had the case. I wonder what the special edition goes for nowadays.
I held on to that for the longest time, and I only got $120 out of it.
No, that's pretty much retail because of taxes and stuff.
Exactly. So I don't know. It wasn't worth holding on to. Everybody just wanted the master edition because of the statue.
I laugh all the time thinking about that master edition. It's so huge, and there's just one little itty bitty cart in it. At the end of the day, that's all you really want, the cart.
Yeah, would you still consider that to be a grail of the Switch collection?
Of the
Not
Switch?
Even if you're a Zelda?
Of the Switch collection, yes, I would probably consider it. It's hard because the Switch nowadays has like limited run games and super rare games that this publisher out here is only doing 1,000 games, and so it's so hard to determine what is a holy grail. But I would consider the Master Edition right now still a holy grail of the collector items. Because
I just wanted to make one quick point, though. EPS, if you want to play games after the podcast, we shall do that tonight then. I keep missing him every time he wants me to join in on his island and stuff like that. But just wanted to let that out there.
All right, EPS, so if you want to play with Devin, let him know.
He also was he was trying to see if we could play on the NES or the Super Nintendo thing.
Oh, Pesty has the one signed by Enuma. There was like 30 signed by Enuma.
Nice.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there was 30 signed by Enuma. I believe it's 30. It could be 50, but I think it's 30. It was at the launch at the New York store. He signed.
Oh, I thought you meant like a random pop, like you would just open the box and it would suddenly be signed.
Oh no.
Think of how many scalpers, man.
That would have been interesting.
Like, what?
that would have been interesting if there were randomly inserted autographs in the boxes at an event.
Yeah, that would be crazy because do you open it? Do you not
that
open
would
it?
just drive it up through the ceiling. Oh my god!
And you don't mention that they're there. Like you have people come to it to get their stuff, and then they get to, oh, by the way, a handful of those are signed.
Pesty says he heard it was 200 signed. I don't know how many signed, so if he says 200, then 200 is the number.
But there's so many sealed collectors out there. So let's say like 150 of those people never opened that box. They would never even know
that it was there. Yeah.
That's really funny to me. I'm one of them. I probably would have never have opened it. Well,
Yeah,
I still did.
that would make the price go up higher, though, I would think. Because then you don't know. Then you don't know if you have it. I threw this in the title, so we got to talk about it. The Switch sales. The Switch sales came out this week or last week, and they're on fire. They just sold 55.1 million Nintendo Switches, and that is a crazy number. They've reached the halfway point to the Wii. So like, what do you guys attest the real success? Is it only because it's a portable system? What's the real success behind the Nintendo Switch? Obviously, it's because of the virus happening right now that Nintendo Switches have kind of gone like very rare again. To find out in the wild, nobody can really find them. You can get Switch Lights, but everybody wants the Switch proper. What do you guys attest to the 55 million in sales? How did Nintendo make such a comeback from the Wii U?
Is that 55 million from day one on March of 2017?
Yeah, 55 million. That's
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's just got bangers of some games, man. Like, it's got a couple flops here and there, but the games are just good. Like, you
Yeah.
can't really take a stick at it. They are.
Hey, Aiden, what up? How you doing, man?
That's a
Prediction:
good prediction. That's a
Animal
good
Crossing
prediction there.
will surpass Mario Kart.
I somehow
Ooh.
doubt that. I thought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe had some dumb sales numbers, like insanely.
They're at like 24 million, but Animal Crossing came out of the gates, man. They came out of the gates selling hard. They surpassed like they had the highest selling numbers of launch, with the exception of Sword and Shield.
But that's the thing, because like Animal Crossing is not only going for the casual players, like you said, your wife loves Animal Crossing, but not really a gamer per se.
Yeah.
But then you got the hardcore players that love Nintendo and have been playing Animal Crossing since day one, all of us. And then there's probably a third bracket of people. So it's encompassing so many people at the same time.
Yeah, my kids love Animal Crossing too. You know, that's just it's such a crazy. I don't think Aiden. I'm going to disagree with Aiden, but not that it really matters. I think Mario Kart's going to hold on to it. For a second, I thought Smash Brothers was going to surpass Mario Kart, but then it trailed back, which is understandable. It's a fighting game, so.
I think all three of those games are contenders to be like the big games of the system by the end of the system's lifespan. Those are going to be all three of those. They're going to be in the top 5.
Yeah, like
who knows? Maybe something that hasn't come out yet is going to be number 4 or 5.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks to quarantine, I definitely think it shot up the numbers because people are bored. But
I can't tell you how many people. I can't tell you how many people contacted me saying, "Hey, I'm thinking of getting a Switch now." In the last 2 months, and I'm like, good luck. They're out of stock.
Dude, yeah, I know, but I sold a lot of people on some Switches too, and mainly because I was like, Animal Crossing's coming out, and they're like, "Yep."
It's all Devin. Devin's the reason.
Yeah, I had a coworker mentioning he was going to pick one up. He was asking what he should get for games. I was also trying to think of some obscure titles too.
It sold consoles. It had to have.
Yeah, it did. It definitely did. I'm surprised that people knew enough about Animal Crossing though, because that doesn't seem like such a culturally relevant game, if that makes sense. Like Mario's a part of our culture now, but Animal Crossing, the villager, is not really known as a household name. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yep.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. Is that Mario Kart is just something that like every parent just kind of knows.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, we should probably get a Mario Kart, and I feel like that's like before Smash and before even Pokemon. I mean, Mario Kart is just like that. It even transcends the Mario franchise itself.
Yeah,
and I think sometimes the title of a game can also put somebody off from picking it up. Because I was chatting with somebody at work, and her son has a Switch, and he's young. I think he was 7 or 8, I think. I don't remember how old he was. Anyways, so like the typical Minecraft and stuff like that he has. And I mentioned the Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon. And the first thing in her head was dungeon mature. No.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no. It's a cute all ages game.
Cool.
It looks like Pesty says the Detroit Lions made an Animal Crossing video announcing their schedule.
Really?
Hunter, he brought up the portability helps sells the Switch, which yeah, I agree 100%. But he said so many people in his age group, he's like, I don't know how old he is. He's 21 at this point. So many people in his age group are just fascinated by it and end up buying one after they keep seeing it. So it's like almost like saying like his age group is all PS4, PS, PlayStation, Xbox until they see it. And I mean that is an appeal. I mean, think about seeing. It's still, I'm so used to the fact that I forget how mind-blowing it is to see that beautiful Zelda game in your hand, You know what I'm saying? We are jaded by it now. We don't recognize the importance of being able to play Mario Kart 8, that beautiful HD Mario, just in our hand. You know what I'm saying? We forget about that because we've been playing it since day one. We're all day one Switch buyers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in line to pick mine up, actually.
So
I waited outside to pick mine up.
So was I. I remember Devin and I kind of laughed about it earlier. People just saying that it was Nintendo is dead, Nintendo doom, Nintendo. How are they going to recover from the Wii U? It's surprising that they did this well, but they did.
Oh, did we bring up GameStop has the purple Amico up for pre-order right now?
No, we didn't. So
yeah, so they have that up for pre-order. I think it includes a $25 gift card for the system.
It does.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But it's right now it's exclusive to GameStop. The purple.
Well, the purple one is, and they still have the pre-order for the white and the black one too.
Yeah, but the purple's exclusive to them.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to see where the red one's going.
and if you look at on the site for it, there are people already giving 5-star reviews. Come on, guys, you haven't played it yet. At least, mention stuff about the system and get people excited for it instead of mentioning stuff that you don't know about yet. But at the same time, there are also people downvoting all of these reviews.
Yeah, people are dumb. I understand why they might be skeptical of the Amico, but I hate when people do that, when they they review bomb something, for no good reason.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like if you're gonna do a 5-star, discuss what it is and stuff you might be excited for. Not like, no, this system is awesome. You haven't played it yet.
Yeah. Maybe the games were awesome in the past.
Mention the history, mention how you felt about the company itself back in the day, and you're excited to see the return.
Yeah, that would it would be nice if people actually did reviews properly.
Yeah. That's why I never hold reviews at full value.
Yeah.
I look at who did the review. If it's somebody that's like well known or something, or if it's just some random person, but maybe it's somebody that only likes sports games. Yeah, they're gonna give this this little unknown title that I'd really love. Of course, they're gonna give it a poor review. It's like me reviewing a rap album.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna give it a good review.
I want only rap album reviews from William, actually, from this point forward.
But you have to look at that. Like if somebody says, "Oh, this game, it's got the single player, but it has no multiplayer campaign at all," so they lower it to if it's out of 10, maybe they'll give it a 7 out of 10 simply because it doesn't have the multiplayer.
Or there's
I don't care. I don't care about the multiplayer.
Yeah.
So I see all their stuff about the single player. Hey, it's got like a 60-hour campaign, but there's no multiplayer in it, so let's give the score lower. No, I'm not going to look at that score as, no, this is what the game is. I'm going to say, no, they like that there's this much single player in it. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah. I agree.
GameSpot gave the previous Mystery Dungeon game, I think they gave it a 5.4 out of 10 and trashed on it. And I loved that game when it was originally on the DS.
Yeah, there's a YouTuber, RGT85, he trashes on Mario Party a lot, and it's because there wasn't a single player campaign on it, or a good one. But in my eyes, I've always been, Mario Party is supposed to be for 2 or more people. So it's like, I don't care if there's a single player campaign in a game like Mario Party. So it's the reverse of what you said about Call of Duty. In a game like Mario Party, I expect it to be a game that's like everybody. And so like I kind of lose a little bit of respect for someone when they do that. It's like, review it on what it's meant to be.
Yeah. I totally agree with that.
I mean, if it's supposed to be a 2-player game, then review it as a 2-player game. If it's supposed to be a 1-player game, then review it as a 1-player game. Like Luigi's Mansion, it has multiplayer capabilities, but I'm not really buying it for that. I'm buying it for Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah. Or some people will claim like anything under a 9.0 out of 10 is bad.
Yeah, that's
Like if it's anything below that, I mean, think of it. A game with a 7.9 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
People will avoid it completely.
Hunter agrees with you on Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Sky review. It was supposed to be atrocious, but everybody says it's the best in the series.
But yeah, a 7.9 out of 10. Oh, that's a bad game. Don't pick that up. That game's horrible. That's the score on IMDb right now for Toy Story 2.
That's one of the best ones.
That is the best one.
Yeah, never take a score at face value. Always read in the review and figure out what is in that review that appeals to you, that made that score what it is.
Yeah, the last thing I wanted to bring up on that, like, it's all subjective. One of the worst games of all time currently always in those lists is one of my favorite PS1 games, of Bubsy 3D. I loved that game. I thought it was awesome, but it's horrible.
Buck
Yeah, and
Rumble.
who are they
it
to tell you that you can't play that game?
It's
Or to
like,
tell you
sure
it's bad, don't pick it up.
I'm sure there's fans of Superman 64.
No
and
way.
Dog, but I'm sure there is. There's gotta be.
I want to meet that person. If you are a fan of Superman 64, please comment. I want to meet you.
That's why I stopped following Rotten Tomatoes like 10 years ago.
Oh, God.
Because it's like I would watch a movie blindly, and then I would check out the score, and I would be like, well, it was failing. It didn't get a red tomato.
I'm convinced that's why the DCEU failed. 100%.
Yeah, and it really biases viewers. It tips the scale in terms of marketing, whether it's successful or a failure. And because people will be like, "Hey, man, did you watch that new Batman versus Superman? It kind of sucked," and then people don't go and watch it. But in reality, that's probably my favorite DC movie thus far. Like, I mean, I just don't let critics. And I know it's a big smorgasbord and a collection of critics that make up the score. I get it. And, there's a lot of.
I think it's critics reading other critics' reviews.
But I just don't. Like, if I want to know if a book is good, I will read it. If I want to know if a movie is good, I will watch it and make my own, like, decision of whether it has merit or not. I don't know. I just. I don't. The same thing with the video game. I mean. I'm probably not going to buy Anthem because, it sounds like it's a very contradicting statement that I'm about to say, but Anthem just had a slew of problems, and could I still play it? Yeah, I wouldn't mind picking it up and see what it's about. But seeing with the things with all the microtransactions and blah blah blah, I don't know if I would really want to give it the time of day. Especially when I have a backlog that's yelling at me. And so the same thing. It's like, what are some games with the Switch that didn't really pan out to be as successful as they thought? Mario Party, I guess Super Mario Party. I know that is considered like not a super duper successful Mario Party, right? Because of lack of stage variety and
flew under the radar too, and people dogged on it for not being multi or single player.
But if you fire it up at a party, and you've got 6 people playing with you, chances are you're gonna have a lot of fun. That's just the fact of the matter.
You're getting some blowback on your Superman versus Batman.
I saw that. Look, I actually think Ben Affleck is in my opinion is the best Batman that there has been in terms of several factors. I mean,
those pictures of Robert Pattinson as Batman look pretty cool, though.
Yeah. I feel like, in my opinion, I don't think that there is a better Batman than another. I just think that is like my favorite representation. we're talking about comic books now, but
Yeah.
we
Animated series all the way. That's my favorite.
good.
you just have different actors that portray different aspects of Bruce Wayne and Batman. Like even Val Kilmer had that like very like ascot wearing,
Ooh.
pretty boy, rich boy Batman, feel to him. And, Michael Keaton had like a super mature version of Bruce Wayne, someone that was a little bit more weathered. Christian Bale as well, like you could really feel his like the bitterness of his parents, being taken away from him at a young age and how he came about in this like um against all odds type of scenario. And Ben Affleck just he had like a really good he has like the jaw, and he when he wore the mask, it just it looked like the animated series Batman. Like from like a bottom view, there's a scene when they're shooting at Doomsday, and it's Doomsday, right? And the villain in BBS. Um, and it's a shot from where you're looking up into his chin and his face, and it reminds me, I swear it reminds me of the animated series Batman, like just the way that his facial structure and the white eyes. I know he doesn't have completely white eyes, but and then Robert Pattinson is going to bring probably a really young Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, I bet they do. It's going to be like year 2 or year 3 of Batman.
And he's probably gonna, remind a lot of people of like Terry McGinnis, right? Like a Batman Beyond type of vibe, because he's a little bit leaner, a little bit more agile.
I like the people that were saying that Michael Keaton could play old man Bruce Wayne, and they have like a young Batman to play.
Oh, that'd be so sweet.
I think that would be a perfect pairing. That would be so good.
And I don't even know if he's confirmed to be Bruce Wayne, right? I mean, you don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, he hasn't been. I guess he hasn't been confirmed to be Bruce Wayne. Nobody really like casted. We just cast Bruce Wayne. Everybody's like, we cast Batman,
and
we just
Zoe Kravitz was just confirmed to be Catwoman, and I just watched her in a show, and she's a really good actress.
And that's fine. No, it's not the first time that, and not including Halle Berry, but it's not the first time that Catwoman's been African American.
I don't even care about that. That movie was a straight crap.
No, but people will bring it up.
Yeah, no, obviously they're idiots, but that movie was crap.
But even before that one, no, even the 66 Batman.
But yeah, I'm excited because she's a really good actress, and in my opinion,
she was the one that played Domino in the Deadpool movie.
No,
right?
that's Zazie
No,
Beetz.
no, you're thinking of she was in that X-Men First Class.
She was.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, guys? I just looked at the time. It's 8:07. We got to wrap this up.
So, but yeah, she's a great actress, and I didn't like Anne Hathaway. I really didn't care for her as Catwoman. So I think it would be an upgrade anyway. So it's just the Batman topic. There's pros and cons, but I'm excited to see what's to come. If I could wrap up this video game podcast with comic book takeaway.
I'm resisting to throw in my Batman opinions because Batman's my all-time favorite hero. I mean, he's most people's all-time favorite hero, but I used to be obsessed. I used to collect Batman stuff, so I used to be obsessed with Batman. But anyways, so anything else to wrap it up? How about you, Devin? Anything going on your channel?
No, I got a couple videos coming up of my video games monthly box and my Wii U collection. I'm not sure if I'm going to refilm it, though. I filmed on my new DSLR camera, so I was trying to test it.
Gotcha. And how about you, William? Anything on your end?
Mostly just work, trying to get through some games. Got to clean up the room a little bit. I don't know when they're going to take the AC covers off.
Gotcha.
If they're even going to come in because of everything going on in the world right now.
Right. Well, guys, hopefully with everything going on in the world right now, we were able to give you an hour and 8 minutes reprieve, something to get your mind off it. That's pretty much it for today. We appreciate every single one of you. Again, Nick, thank you for the $5 EPS. Thank you for guessing that right. Everyone out there, from Pesty to Hunter to JR. JR, congratulations on getting the full 418 North American 3DS games. True 88, Aiden. I know I'm forgetting some other people. Who am I forgetting? If I'm forgetting you, Nick Clanton. If I'm forgetting you out there, I apologize. But we love every single one of you. You guys rock hard.
And I don't know if Eric's still here, but Eric, thank you for coming and
thanks.
checking us out.
Thanks for coming from Canada. But every single one of you, you guys rock. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good one.
Peace.
See ya.
Bye.